Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, everybody! This is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you in the month of December, since it is Christmas time and the holiday time, about The Middle, Season 2, A Simple Christmas. This is the second season's, well, Christmas episode, and it's really funny, but it's completely different than that of the first. I might even say it's probably a whole lot funnier than the first season one, because they really started upping the ante and stuff. So in this episode, we see Mike and Frankie. They're talking about what they're gonna get the kids for Christmas and stuff like that. And I think they're down in like the basement, and I think they're down there for some reason. Um, and they start seeing like a bunch of like items. These items aren't just ordinary items. They are Christmas gifts from like last year that the kids wanted so badly, but they did not open. And this pisses both parents off because they're all like, they did everything they could to get the kids the best Christmas ever and spend all this money for like 2 days shipping, and the kids didn't even like open it. Like Sue wanted like a diary or something like that. Brick wanted a globe that talks to him, but he never used it. So this really pisses him off. But it pisses Frankie off even more when she sees a rotten orange. And she couldn't believe it, because this is Frankie's tradition that we did not learn last season. Every year she puts an orange in the kid's stocking. Why? Because like her great grandmother back in the Great Depression, they didn't have much like money and food and stuff like that. So what they did was they would give each other an orange, and that's what they had to eat. And so her mom, which is the kid's grandmother, would always tell them that story and stuff. And like how they always like couldn't get like orange, or they all, how it was so hard to get oranges back in those days. It became like a tradition. I learned about the Great Depression once and once only in the 11th grade. Boy, that was no joke whatsoever. It was sad. We saw a video where, you saw people like hopping on like trains because they were homeless. We saw people commit crimes, innocent people just commit a random crime just so they can get locked up and go to jail to have a place to sleep and food to eat. That's how bad it was. Now, we almost got into the Great Depression too about a decade ago, but it was known as the recession. The reason why it was the recession and not the Great Depression too is because you need a few more steps to get into the Great Depression. But that was a rough time in American history. So Frankie and Mike, they decide they're gonna give their kids a simple Christmas. Instead of a bunch of gifts, they're only gonna give them a few meaningful gifts and stuff. And also, Frankie lets them know that her parents are coming to visit. Mike ain't happy about this. He's like, why didn't you tell me? She's like, I did. Back in Thanksgiving or something like that. So basically what happened is he was watching a football game and he was getting really excited. And so she decided that when he wasn't paying attention, when he was like, yes, 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 for like the football game, she decided to sneak in her question. So he said yes. And she's like, okay, fine. So he ain't happy. And I think they're going to be there for about 2 weeks, I think. He's really not excited about that. He does not want to be bothered with family whatsoever. Now we finally get to meet the grandfather. We've met the grandmother before in that Mother's Day episode. And so I forget who the grandfather is played by, but he's a very famous actor. And I forgot what show he was on. But sadly he has now passed away. And so it's basically like the 12 days of Christmas, and Frankie is narrating it and about all the stuff that's going on. Now they let the kids know straight up, we're not buying you a bunch of gifts, and they're like really upset, and and so like they don't understand why they're crapping out on Christmas, and they let them know about all the stuff they found in the basement. And so like Sue's all like, what I really want this year is a diary. He's all like, oh really? Cause this is from last year. And so they all like, if you want Christmas gifts, you gotta get a job. So Sue gets a job. Doesn't go very well. She has one of those little signs you spin around. Oh Sue. Oh Sue. Well, when it comes to the boys, Axel's all like, Ask me for one thing and I'll get it for you, and that's it, or something like that. Um, and so Brick is all like he wants an igloo, and so like yeah, Axel builds it and everything and for him and stuff. So that was really sweet of Axel, because Axel's like a little jerk, you know what I'm saying, who doesn't care about family, but deep down inside he really does, but he acts like he doesn't because he's very selfish. And so while the grandparents are there, they are getting on Mike's nerves, especially the grandfather, because he just wants to hang around Mike the entire time and he follows him around everywhere. So Mike is like camping down. So Mike started to hide from the dude. He camped down in the basement and everything. The grandfather comes in trying to talk to him. And he's all like, "Oh, whoop, can't talk. I have to go to the hardware store and pick up a wire for like the heater and stuff, the water tank thing." And so he rips the wire off and everything. He's all like, "Wow, well, I'll go to the store with you." So Mike tries to hurry up and get to the car, but then the old man's kind of like walking as slow as he can, but he gets up in time to go with Mike to the hardware store. Because it's Christmas and it's cold, a lot of the shipments haven't came in. So the dude lets him know that, you know, you're going to be looking at a couple of cold showers for a while. Mike head is about to shoot flames, because not only is he gonna be bothered with her parents, but now he has cold showers. And so um with Brick and all them, they're in the igloo and stuff. But Brick, he comes out and lets the rest of the his brother and sister know that the Glossners have seen the igloo. This makes Axel worried. So Axel is being like, you know, his typical jerk self. But once he finds out about the Glossners, he jumps into action. And so now they have to defend the little igloo fort as best as they can. Because the Glossners are these like three kids that are really poor and really bad. And their mom is played by Brooke Shields. And they destroy everything they can and steal everything. So they're there in the igloo as like a little fort and everything, and they're freezing to death. And Sue's all like, you know, you shouldn't be this way. There are neighbors, goodwill to men, and all that other stuff. So she goes out there and she starts singing, ooh, kind of like Charlie Brown. They pelt her with so many snowballs, it is not even funny. So towards the end of the episode, um you know, Frankie was all happy and excited because it was going to be a simple Christmas. And then when they go down there, there are tons of Christmas gifts. Tons of Christmas gifts. And they're like, did Santa do this? And then the kids see it. No, the kids don't see it yet. No, the grandparents come down and they're all like, well, we kind of splurged this year. And she's all like, what? No, we wanted a simple Christmas. That is what I told you. And you went behind my back. And she's all like, Frankie, I did not drive all these miles to give my grandkids a simple Christmas. And she's all like, you know, there's only one grandparent that a kid can love, and they making sure it's gonna be them and stuff. And so Frankie has like a meltdown, and she starts stealing all the gifts, and the kids come down. They're like, "Why, Mom? Why? Why are you stealing our Christmas gifts?" And then so she goes into total meltdown talking about how, like, you know, she wanted a simple Christmas and the orange and all that stuff. And the mom's all like, the grandma's all like, what is the orange? She's like, you know, the one that great grandma used to put in the stocking because of the Great Depression. And then the mom's all like, oh, that? You can get oranges year round now. And it doesn't matter. And Frankie's like, it matters to me. It matters to me. And she just starts shouting and yelling. Then we see her in her room and she's crying. She's like, I just yelled at my mom and stuff. And the kids saw that. And they're going to remember this every year. And Mike is all like, no, they're going to remember this year for something different. See, Mike never wants to get along with the whole Christmas sing-along thing that they do and record. He always gets out of it. So this year, he decides to do it. And it's the most corniest thing ever. And so when the parents and the grandparents were arguing, the grandma's all like told her husband, see, I told you to give Mike some space, because Frankie let it be known to her dad that Mike is tired of you. He's sick of you. And all you keep following him around. This is when Frankie really was losing it and stuff. And so, you know, after they like sung the song and everything, and everybody was just happy. They were kumbaya, and they was having a good time. Mike let Frankie know, see, I told you you can't have family over for like a long time. And like they start to like get on your nerves and everything. That's the truth. That is the truth. You love family, but you just don't want them to visit. So, and you can't wait till they leave. And then once they leave, it's like, whew, hallelujah. Bah humbug, that was a good episode. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Bye.